What's good, gang? It's your boy, what's a little bit back another reaction. And today, we got the Deadly Divide in East London, Manor Park, and Drillford. Now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all told me to check out the backstory, a little bit of backstory behind M12, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm starting to get into M12 a little bit. I heard like 1 or 2 songs from him on the channel. And y'all told me to check the backstory so I can really understand more so what's going on. So we're going to do that. We're not going to waste no time. If y'all enjoyed this video, y'all know to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below y'all thoughts. Comment down below that reaction next. I get to it ASAP. And yeah, I'll be doing videos every day. Couple of these bands, straight to it. Alright.
In this video, we are traveling to the London borough of Newham. Newham has had an ongoing problem with gangs in the area. An example of this is North Side Newham versus South Side Newham, which has been going on for more than a decade. However, this video isn't focusing on North Side and South Side Newham, but we are instead focusing on the ongoing war between Manor Park and Drillford. These gangs are very close to each other, only being separated by one road, that being the A406.
One road? They got a whole freaking war going on between one little road?
Very close to each
That's
other,
crazy,
only
bro.
being separated by one road, that being the A406. OM is a gang based on the Little Ilford estate in Manor Park, E12. OM is allied with nearby Northside Newham and mainly beefs Drillford, which is what we are focusing on today. Drillford are a gang based in Ilford. Drillford is split into 2 different sets, that being MCE, which stands for Money Comes Easy, and MOD, which stands for Mainly on Dough. They both rep the IG1 postcode despite being separated into 2 different blocks. The beef between these 2 sets has been getting very active over the last 4 years, with 6 people being killed as a result. It is unknown how the beef between...
Wait, in the past, what now? You said 2 years?
Being separated into 2 different blocks. The beef between these 2 sets has been getting very active over the last 4 years, with 6 people being killed as a result. It is unknown how the beef between Drillford and Manor Park started, but it's alleged that a Manor Park member named...
In 4 years, 6 people was killed between those 2. Imagine, that's one in the quarter, I don't know, man. I gotta go back to school, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta get back in class because my math is completely off. I already know it. Y'all don't roast me in the comments. Don't do me that. Don't do me dirty.
By Drillford members a few years ago, causing tension between the sets. The first few instances of this beef kicking off would be when a Manor Park member named Farmer 12 would shoot a Drillford member named Giddy in the head in 2016. This would result in Giddy being put on life support, but he would fortunately survive. A few years later, in early 2019, Giddy would be caught again by Farmer and another Manor Park GM called Snipes. They would find Giddy and stab him several times. He was put on life support and would luckily survive again. On the 8th of April...
Again? This man got stabbed. He got stabbed and shot. He survived both. Obviously, God killed him here for a reason, bro.
But he would fortunately survive. A few years later, in early 2019, Giddy would be caught again by Farmer and another Manor Park GM called Snipes. They would find Giddy and stab him several times. He was
Snipes looked like a straight menace.
Support and would luckily survive again. On the 8th of April 2019, whilst Giddy was in hospital being treated for the stabbing, the first person would be killed as a result of the beef. A loved Manor Park member named Niz, who was trying to change his life around, was attacked by multiple Drillford members. He was shot and then stabbed by the members. He sadly died on the scene as a result of the stab.
Bro, it's so sad because, like, if you get caught lacking, the moment people want to change their life around, the moment people want to stop trying to be active in the gang, that's exactly whenever they lose their life. You hear about that a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people die because of the war, because they're active. But you often hear a lot of people actually trying to get out that situation, trying to move away from that gang activity. And here you are, you know what I mean? Like, you trying to move on past that, and you get caught lacking, bro. It's sad. I ain't gonna lie.
This murder is unsolved to this day, with no one being charged or convicted for this murder. Rest in peace to Niz. After the death of Niz, Manor Park members would be looking for revenge wherever they could, due to Niz being a loved and well-respected Manor Park member. However, only 2 months later, the retaliation Manor Park was looking for would come. On the 30th, however, only 2 months later, the retaliation Manor Park was looking for would come. On the 30th of June 2019, a Drillford member named OS would be walking in southeast London when 2 Manor Park members named Farmer 12 and Snipes would spot him. They would jump out of their...
Bro, how the freak did Snipes get away with the last one?
East London when two Manor Park members named Farmer 12 and Snipes would spot him. They would jump
That
out
man
of their
getting
car and
active,
would
bro.
attack
What the
and stab
freak?
OS 17 times, with the entire attack being caught on a doorbell camera. The Manor Park members would then get in the car and flee the scene. OS would stagger across the road and be picked up by a passing car and taken to hospital. Unfortunately, he would be pronounced dead hours later as a result of the stab wounds. The car used by the Manor Park members was then burned. However, Farmer and Snipes were still arrested and charged in connection to the murder. They were both found guilty, with them being sentenced to a minimum of 21 and 23 years. Rest in peace,
Minimum?
OS. On the 28th of September 2019, a Manor Park member named Specs would carry out a double shooting on Drillford.
I don't know, man. 20 years, 21 years to 23 at minimum is kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of short. I ain't gonna lie. For killing somebody, that's kind of short. Not gonna lie. You know what I mean? But I don't
He
know.
would hit both members, putting them both in critical condition. However, they would make a recovery. Drillford members would look for retaliation wherever they could for the double shooting incident. And one of the most brutal incidents would take place throughout the beef. And eventually, they would find it. On the 19th of November 2019, a friend of Specs named Sharik Khan would phone Specs and arrange to meet together. What Specs didn't know was that his friend had been getting close with Drillford members. Specs would get in Sharik Khan's car and would drive to a block of garages in Hursley Gardens. What Specs didn't know was that he was being set up. Upon arriving at the block of garages, another car would pull in and enter the garages.
being
The
set
second
up.
car would contain
Dang,
multiple
bro.
Drillford members. The Drillford
That's
members
why you
would get out
gotta,
of
yeah.
their
That's
car.
why you gotta really be careful who you trust, man. That's why, because this man thought everything was all good. He thought it was sweet. He thought everything was all good, bro. He thought it was safe. He thought he was good. Now you got set up, bro. You gotta be careful who you trust, bro.
No, was that
honestly,
he was being-
this could happen on no matter, like, it don't even matter if you in a gang or not. It don't even matter if you in a gang. It don't matter what's going on. You gotta be careful who you trust, because you know what I mean. If the people that you trust the most, they'll be the same ones. The people that you respect or love the most, those will be the same envy ones trying to set you up, trying to kill you, get you
Set up.
killed.
Upon arriving at the block of garages, another car would pull in and enter the garages. The second car would contain multiple Drillford members. The Drillford members would get out of their car and start attacking Specs. Specs managed to get away shortly, but was chased and stabbed over 50 times, all over his body. Sadly, Specs would
50
be pronounced
times?
dead at 10:53 p.m., just 30 minutes after being attacked. Police would track
Dang.
the attackers through
30 minutes after he, ooh.
10:53 p.m., just 30 minutes after being attacked. Police
Dang,
would track
bruh.
the attackers through fingerprints on the vehicles and DNA left at the scene. This resulted in all 7 members involved in the murder
All
of Specs
7.
being sentenced to 128 years in prison combined. However, the violence wouldn't stop there.
Combined.
In 2020,
Okay.
Manor
I thought he said all of them got 128 years. 27, 28, yeah. I thought they said all 128, all of them got 128, but it said combined. So that means that, like, they all got in total of 128, meaning some of them could have maybe 14, some of them could have, 40, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie, if they all had 128 years, bro, I ain't gonna lie, that's tough. They in life, they done, they ain't no coming out. You gonna die, and you gonna still be in jail. By the time it's time for you to get out, you gonna still be in jail. You got time to serve. You gonna be rotting in jail at that point. I ain't gonna lie.
28 years in prison combined.
That's
However,
what I
the
thought he
violence
said,
wouldn't
though.
stop there. In
It
2020,
wouldn't stop.
Manor Park members would start making music. This wasn't unheard of, as Farmer 12 rapped before getting jailed for life. But other members would start jumping on tracks and telling the media about what was going on in the streets. Manor Park and Drillford often dissed fallen members and each other in these songs.
That glide, home right, I got my guys. Shot and shank survive. Shot and shanked and this beef is fucked.
Wait, hold on. What the?
Shot and
Felon got shot and shanked, survived. Manor, which is supposed to be Niz, got shot and shanked and died. Ooh. See, I heard about Niz, obviously right here, somewhere around here. Yeah. Dang, bruh. They just put him in a diss track. My folks got shanked and shot, survived, but your folk got shot and shanked and died. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. That's
shank
tough.
survive. Shot and shanked and this beef is fucked.
Wife and her girlfriend both got franked. Giddy got chinked and he almost died. Snipes had him looking like Frankenstein. Oh, Escalate how many times? And you wouldn't
Wait,
want flushing.
what did he say about Snipes? Snipes had him looking like Frankenstein. It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's a crazy line.
Snipes
What
had
the
him looking like
freak?
Frankenstein.
Hey,
oh,
yo.
Escalate how many times?
Got him over here looking like a freaking zombie. Looking like a freaking experiment gone
Five,
wrong.
lucky, shot and
God
shanked
dang.
and this beef is pop.
Wife and her girlfriend both got fried. Giddy got chinked and he almost died. Snipes had him looking like Frankenstein. Oh, Escalate how many times? I knew when it was slush and ice. I'm too catty, I'm splat.
Drillford members also started rapping, although they had been rapping for
Oh
over
my
6
gosh.
years. Drillford's main rappers are Show Psycho and Giddy. Manor Park's main rappers are Farmer 12, M12, and Reki. On the 1st of November,
Only person I know out of all these folks that's named is M12. I ain't gonna lie. But Show Psycho sounds like a psycho. He got psycho in his name. He sounds like he's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Manor Park's main rappers are Farmer 12, M12, and
M12.
Reki. On the 1st of November 2020,
Should I check out
Drillford
some
member
more of
named
these artists
Yellows
too?
was
Let me
riding
know.
on his bike around
Yellow.
Ilford. Whilst he was riding his bike, Manor Park members would be on a ride out looking for ops. A Manor Park member named S. Loose would see Yellows and run him over whilst he was on his bike. 2 other Manor Park
Ran him
members would
over?
get out of the car
What the
and shoot
freak?
Yellows in the head twice. Yellows was sadly
they
pronounced
don't
dead
care,
on the scene,
bro. They
but
ain't
the
got
ride
no
out
chill.
didn't end for S. Loose and the other Manor Park members. They carried on looking for ops, and 15 minutes later they would spot another op shooting him in the chest. Luckily, the second man survived. S. Loose would be the only one arrested in connection to this murder, as phone records and DNA evidence proved he was the driver, with the gunman still not being identified or arrested. S. Loose would be given a combined sentence of 35 years for this murder, and a shooting he committed moments after the murder. Rest in peace, Yellow. Whilst Manor Park and Drillford were dissing each
RP
other on
Yellow, bruh.
Snapchat and in songs, shootings and stabbings would be happening in the streets. A Drillford member named Giddy would start dropping tracks around this time as well. Giddy has been present throughout all of the beef. If you remember, he was stabbed by Farmer 12 on 2 different occasions in the early days of the rivalry.
different
Whilst a
occasions,
lot of
bro.
Giddy's songs were leaked, he would still diss his ops loads in these songs. Sadly, this road life would catch up to Giddy in the worst way.
What does he mean by that?
Police are holding a news
Wait,
conference after a
what happened to? Oh, freak! I just looked at the bottom. It says "Death of Giddy." Dang, bro. R.P. Giddy, bro. R.P. Giddy. So he's one of the main rappers, and he was killed, bro. That's tough. I'm telling you, bro. The talented ones are always the ones taken early, bro. The gang violence ain't no joke, bro. It ain't no joke. It ain't no game, bro. It ain't no game. To them, it's a game, but it ain't a
Police are
game in
holding
life, for
a
real.
news conference after a shooting that left 2 people dead and a third
2019?
critically injured. Let's just listen in.
On the 25th of October 2022, Giddy and his
2022.
cousin named Zach were trapping out of a bando on Henley Road. What they didn't know was that Manor Park members got the drop on Giddy and the other people in the trap house and planned to ride out that night. After midnight on the 25th of October 2022, 2 cars would park outside of the house. One of the Manor Park members, wearing a black Joker mask, would then go through the front door and
The freak, what kind of serial killer type of stuff is this? Wearing a Joker mask? But you only hear this type of stuff happening in cartoons, bro. What the freak?
members got the drop
Yo,
on Giddy and the other people
that's
in the
not
trap
funny,
house
but
and
that's
planned to
kinda-
ride out that night. After midnight on the 25th of October 2022, 2 cars would park outside of the house. One of the Manor Park members, wearing a black Joker mask, would then go through the front door and would start shooting at
Yo.
everyone in the house. Giddy and his cousin Zach, who was a civilian, were both shot and then stabbed multiple times. They were both
And a
pronounced
civilian,
dead on
bro?
the scene, with 2 other men
They killed him and the civilian. No witnesses allowed, huh? That's
being
crazy,
left
bro.
in critical condition after being shot multiple times. Zach, who was a
Dang,
civilian,
bro.
was shot 7 times and stabbed 5 times, and Giddy was shot 4
God.
times and stabbed
Just because he
28 times.
associated with
Other
him, he has to
Drillford
go
members
too.
would start jumping out of windows and hiding within the house whilst this was happening. This incident quickly hit the news with how brutal it was. CCTV was released a few days after the murders. It showed the killers fleeing the house, running to a getaway vehicle.
Dang, bro. That's crazy. This man, they done broke in his house, killed him, and killed the regular civilian that he was cool with, or I guess his family member or something. I can't remember what he said. I'm gonna have to run that back. That's
Zach
crazy, bro.
were trapping out of a bando on Henley Road. What they didn't know was that Manor Park members got the drop on Giddy and the other people in the trap house and planned to ride out that night. After midnight on the 25th of October, would then go through the front door and would start shooting at everyone in the house. Giddy and his cousin Zach, who was a
His
civilian,
cousin, bro. He done killed him and his cousin. Damn, bro. And the cousin wasn't even in the life. He wasn't even in the gang. He wasn't even. He was just a regular civilian, bro.
8
That's tough.
times. Other Drillford members would start jumping out of windows and hiding within the house whilst this was happening. This incident quickly hit the news with how brutal it was. CCTV was released a few days after.
Nah, bro. I understand why it hit the news. He in his own crib. He done broke in his crib, stabbed him to death. That's scary right there. That's scary if I'm being real. That's honestly kind of scary. He broke into his house, shot him up, stabbed him up. Somebody that wasn't somebody that wasn't even gang related. A regular civilian that was caught in the crossfire too, killed too, just because it was associated with Giddy. That's sad right there. I ain't gonna lie.
After the murder,
R.I.P. to Giddy, but dang, bro, the cousin too.
it showed the killers fleeing the house, running to a getaway vehicle.
Dang, bro.
Five men have been arrested and have all been found guilty of the double murder of Giddy and Zach. One of the men was not found guilty of murder, but instead found guilty of perverting the course of justice after burning the getaway car used in the attack. Rest in peace, Giddy and Zach. Whilst there haven't been any murders linked to the rivalry since 2022, the beef is still ongoing in the streets, with stabbings and shootings still occurring. Recently, Farmer 12, who was convicted and given 23 years for the murder of OS, went on live and said he would kill another op and ride another 23 years.
23 years.
The freak? He said he'll kill another one, bro. On live? Bro, this man got no, bro, they ain't got no chill, bro. They don't know when to stop.
This just shows
years, and I'll get another 23 years to kill her up.
And ride another 23
He'll get
years.
another 23 years.
And I'll get another 23 years to kill her up. When it comes to killing her up.
This just shows how much the
Bro, they don't care. He said I'll get another 23 years. If it means I can get to kill another op. Another 23 years if that means if I can catch another op lacking, bro. That was nothing to me. That's nothing to me. It's okay to be. It is what it is.
These men hate
He
their
tripping,
ops
bro.
and don't care about freedom. By the time Farmer 12 comes out of jail, all the people that are around him now will have grown up and will most likely have forgotten about him. Whilst the life drill rappers or gang members' lead looks appealing,
Dang, bro,
it
what the
really
freak?
isn't. These men have all lost friends to the violence in prison, which just proves that it really isn't worth it.
I don't know who it looks appealing to. It don't look appealing to me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what he's talking about. It looks appealing. I guess some people might think it looks cool, but not me
The
personally.
violence in prison, which just proves that it really isn't worth it. Rest in peace to everyone in this video. If you or someone you know is getting involved with this lifestyle, try and help them to escape it before it's too late. If you enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They wild for this one right here. I ain't gonna lie. They tripping, bro. Nah. Going inside your... Bro, he bold. Like, they bold with it, though. I ain't never heard nothing like that. He went inside of his op's house, caught him and his cousin that wasn't even in the gang. He had nothing to do with it. He's a regular civilian. Him and his cousin gotta go. Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy to be. I ain't gonna lie. Let me know y'all thoughts on this beef right here between Manor Park and Drillford, bro. RP to everybody in this video, bro. RP to everybody. You know what I mean? And I guess Giddy was supposed to be like one of the most known rappers, right? I think. Pretty sure. Let me go
Joe
back.
Psycho and Giddy. Manor Park.
Yeah, he was supposed to be one of the main rappers they had. That's kind of sad right there. I ain't gonna lie. It's always some main rapper dying, bro. It's sad to hear that, honestly. Always sad to hear a talent lost up in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Lost up in the gang wars, bro. It's so always sad to hear that. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments down below. You know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoyed this video, y'all did the do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Comment down below y'all thoughts. Comment down below. I'll react to next. I get to an ASAP. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. We need to seriously stop the violence everywhere. I know it's not gonna stop. I know some people just continue to be violent as much as they want to, but honestly, we need to stop. We honestly all jokes aside, for real, we actually need to stop the violence. Like it's getting out of hand, like too out of hand. Going inside somebody else's house just to catch an op lacking is wild to me. I'll never forget that one right there. But yeah, I'll be doing videos every day. Couple of events. I'm gone.